Go ahead and record. Now we are recording. Thank you guys for being here. I know there's a lot of people that were not able to be here tonight. I think we had a couple people that were sick too. But lucky for you, you get all this information. But the rest of you guys, we will miss you. Okay, so let's go into some acknowledgement real quick. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, am I getting fuzzy? Am I good? No? I'm good. Okay, okay.
You're good.
My internet is frozen.
No, you're freezing.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Give me a second. Okay, so we're going to be talking about adding value tonight. We're going to talk about not just like Marissa and I were talking about in terms of challenge packs, but how does that value go deeper? And what can we do to be influential, not just valuable, okay? And this is not just talking about price objections, but the actual value of what we're offering as coaches, because I believe that our job goes beyond selling a challenge pack. And I think a lot of you would agree that we're a lot more than a number or an income or a rank. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But first, I want to give some shout outs to some phenomenal coaches. These are our success clubbers so far. We've got Marissa, who is 1 point away, who will be on this list. She will be on this list. I know we've got a bunch of other people that are right there at 3s and 4s. And we still have 8 days left in the month. So there's plenty of time. I mean, the world was made in 7 days. Okay, you can get 2 Success Club points in 8 days. You like that, Tracy? I just want to give a shout out to everyone here. These coaches are consistent. And you may think, I think everyone here is actually doing a great job with your Success Club points. But if you think, how do they do it? How are they getting these points? It comes with focus, it comes with consistency, and it comes with momentum. All right. A lot of these points, some of you might see this and go, holy cow, how did she get to 15 or 31 or whatever? These points may have been transformed and formed 3 months ago that are now finally coming into fruition. So they're not instant. It's with momentum. It's with growth in your business that these things start to happen. And the more connections you make, the more this starts to build. Think of it like a snowball. The more conversations you have, the more people you talk to, the more you put yourself out there, then this kind of thing builds. Because I know for me, when I first started, I had that big explosion of Success Club points, right? Because you kind of go through your warm market, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, what do I do now? Everyone I know has bought something from me. So you kind of have to find that way to take that next step up and find those new conversations. So congratulations to all of you guys. Brandy here, brand new coach, Success Club 6. All right, that's awesome. So congratulations to all of you guys. Okay, so talking about value here. What does that mean? Now, as a new coach, I know a lot of you are not everyone's new, but most of you are. And so what this means is when you come into this business and you think adding value, well, I like to work out. Well, I love my Shakeology. I'll just share with the world my Shakeology. I'll just show people like, hey, I love doing this and this is going to make people want to join me. And that's not necessarily true. We really want to take it one step further, dig a little deeper into this value statement, and it comes down to your story, your experience, your personal challenges. And what value really means is the stuff you cannot put a price on. All right. Now you've heard that commercial, this costs $5,000, this costs, $4,000. And then the end event of maybe the family drives up to the Grand Canyon and the view and the memories is priceless. So there's an emotional factor that goes along with what we do. And it's about helping people see that value before you get to, prices and things like that. And we'll go, into some more details about that. But adding value is much more than simply posting what makes you happy. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So first I want to talk about a couple of don'ts, and we're going to have some examples. So first of all, don't just throw out a price and expect people to come running to you, because you can't have that value placement if you immediately give them the price, because that price is going to just be that immediate blocker. When people think $160, heck no, I'm not going to do that for some silly diet, which is kind of the mentality a lot of people get. They don't see the actual value and what we're offering with the coaching, with the step-by-step instructions, with the workout schedule, with everything that comes along with our challenge packs. People don't see that until you are able to speak to them about it. One, by sharing your own experience, which is probably what brought them to you in the first place. And two, getting to know their objectives and their goals. So another don't use stock photos. And I'm going to show you an embarrassing example. I've showed this to the team before of what I did as a new coach. And so I am here to pave the way of embarrassment for you and to tell you not to do this. And then I will show you what to do, okay? But stock photos, they are white noise. Think about it if you're scrolling through. Have any of you guys ever seen like the It Works things, and they have the girls, they're wrapped up in plastic and things like that, and you're like, ugh, you keep scrolling. But think about if you saw someone that had a heartfelt story that went along with it, you would have that connection with them. And then if you found out, I can't imagine someone has an emotional connection with It Works, but you get my drift here, is that if you see this stock photo and you see something that has no personal attachment or any sort of authentic voice to it, I know for one, I'm going to scroll past that as fast as possible, because you know what that tells me? That screams to me they want my money, and that's it. It doesn't tell me they want to help me. It doesn't tell me they want to share how this helped them. They just want to show me a picture and get my money. So don't use stock photos. Number 3 is don't use someone else's photos. I have also done this. There's a huge learning curve when you're a newer coach. And sometimes people that have been coaches a long time still do this. And so this is kind of a refresher. But it's okay to go on the Beachbody website. We have a million before and afters, or maybe you have your own challenger. Maybe you have your own pictures. That's ideal. But don't go to another coach's page and copy paste what they've done and post it as yours, because that may come back around to bite you in the butt. Because I know if someone was using my stuff word for word in my pictures, maybe it's my dinner or something, I'd be kind of irritated. Plus, if someone else does see that on another coach's page and then they see it on your page, that authenticity that you tried to create, gone. All right. So be original, use your own stuff. What catches someone's attention is that personal and that true and authentic story that you have. So we talk about the power of your story, and this is where it plays into that value, building value through connection. So I'm going to show you an example of this. Don't do this. I did this. I'm embarrassed. If you were on scrolling through Facebook and you saw this, you'd be like, okay, thanks for all the clutter. Thanks for, nothing. Like, there's nothing about this that says, I care about you. I care about what your goals are, and I want to help you. It says, guess what? There's a dollar sign. I'm going to make a commission off that. There is nothing about this that is good. So don't do this. I even put my website on there, okay? Like, yes, I'm here to tell you, don't do that. But let me show you what you should do. My computer is going to work. Something like this. So I was never an overweight person, but I was definitely at a point in my life right before we had kids where I was not feeling really great about myself. And this particular picture on the left was my husband and I went hiking. And I remember feeling that day, you can almost see it in my eyes. I look tired. I don't look like I have energy. And I remember feeling really, really sluggish. And I wore layers so you couldn't see my muffin top. All right. Now, it's not the end of the world if you have a muffin top, but for me, it was something that made me feel really insecure for being, I was in the Marine Corps and I was fit and I was trim. And then I went to this place where I gained an extra 20 pounds and my mid-20s, we were out all the time. We'd go out to happy hour all the time. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. I wasn't running anymore. I just felt gross. And so you look at the picture on the right with my boyfriend and I. Sorry, babe. And don't we look cute together? With my boyfriend and I feel phenomenal in this picture. I don't know if there's lights on my face, but part of that's a glow. And plus I was in Cancun, but there's something that I look at my face and I feel phenomenal. Got the swagger going on, but I felt phenomenal. And I think you can see a big difference. And there's a story behind this. When something like this gets posted with what I just told you about how I felt and the transition I went through, there's people that reach out and say, I feel the same way you did. And I want to feel the way you do now. What can you do to help me? Boom, value, okay? Because I genuinely by my story, I'm trying to reach out to people and trying to let them know that this girl on the left doesn't have to remain the girl that she was in this picture, that you can be this tan, happy, fit girl with a handsome dude on your arm. Like you can be. I'm here to help them do that, right? So if someone sees this, that's adding value because it's connecting to them. So personal as it gets. Okay? You're not a walking billboard for Beachbody. You are you, and you have a story. Okay, so I want to get into a topic that I know a lot of you hear a lot, and this is another way that we add value. This is probably the most important part of the call tonight. Now, you hear all the time, right? Well, how much is it? Or you post something on Facebook or whatever, you're talking to someone, well, how much is it? And that's the dreaded question because you're like, no, don't make me feel uncomfortable. And my rules here is don't freeze, okay? Don't freeze, take a deep breath, be a coach, all right? The definition of a coach to me is someone who's going to help you through things step by step, and it's with connection. So when you give them a price right off the bat, it's not going to allow for that connection. It's not going to allow for you to get to the value. But how do you offer value when you have this dreaded question in front of you, right? Well, what you do is you need to get to know them. You need to ask them a few questions to understand their larger objective, right? To show them the value based on what they want. Miss Brandy was just telling us this a few minutes ago. But no, it's good. It's good. You're already picking up on this. But to understand how it's going to be valuable to them is by understanding their goals. And not everyone's going to have the same goal, okay? I might have a goal where I want to do a bikini contest. I don't, but you know what I'm saying? And then there might be someone that needs to lose 50 pounds. Or maybe there's someone that just needs their health back on track. And it might not be anything about pounds. It may be just about feeling like they're living a fierce and full, energetic life. Okay, we all have different goals. I have some girls that are like, I just want to lose 5 pounds. And then I have some people that are like, I need to lose 100 pounds. So answering these questions will allow you to help them find the value in what you're offering. And these are my favorite questions. Now, I've added a question here. I usually do 3, but I added one as I was going through this call. Number 1 is, what is your motivation to do this right now? Now, this is usually the first layer of the onion. This is just the outside layer where people say, oh, I just want to lose 20 to 30 pounds. I used to work out. I used to be really fit. And, I just don't feel very good about myself and I'm ready to get back on track. So that's a pretty generic answer, right? Most people will kind of give you the surface level answer, especially if you don't know them. And it's important that you do this with people that you know and you don't know. Number 2 is, what goals would you like to achieve in the next 30 to 60 days? Now we're getting a little bit deeper, okay? We're talking about, what are your specific goals? And I give them that 30 to 60 days because I don't want them to think a year or 2 years down the road, because I don't want it to be overwhelming. I want them to think, okay, in the near future, what am I capable of? What goals do I have as a priority that I want to deal with? And usually it's, well, I would like to lose 30 pounds, but if I could lose 10 in the next 1 to 2 months, I'd feel pretty good about myself. Okay, so at that point, I know that we've got a very, very realistic goal to deal with. And so this tells me, 1, they're not crazy, and that it's something that's very, very possible. If someone was to tell me 100 pounds in 60 days, you might have to reel it back a little bit. So number 3, this is each, for me, they're all important. But the further you go down, the deeper you get, the more layers that onion you peel off. Number 3, what would that mean to you if you could achieve that goal? And, number 3 is kind of a mix of 2 questions, but it goes together. How would things change for you? And I'll tell you from experience, this is where people start to get a little bit emotional, because this could mean things like, well, I would maybe have a better marriage because I have more confidence about myself. Or maybe I would be able to take my kids to the pool, not be embarrassed around the other moms or dads or whatever that may be. And so when you're asking them, what would it mean if you could achieve that goal? It doesn't mean, well, it would mean that I would lose 10 pounds. No, we want to go a little bit deeper, all right? So what we're doing is we're getting them to actually create that value so we can almost put the mirror to their face, if that makes sense. Because the more they talk, the more they realize why this is important to them. And you're simply asking them questions. Now, this isn't a deceiving way in order to build your business per se. This is a way for you to genuinely get to know what they need. Because if they're reaching out to you or they say yes and you're having this conversation, they need something, right? Be that solution. So number 4, who else would be affected by this change? Now, this is when it gets really serious, because I have a lot of people that at this point, if I'm talking to them face to face or on the phone, people start to cry at this point because they think, well, I just want to run around with my kids. My kids will be proud of me. My husband will be proud of me. My mom would stop, nagging me. And then maybe I could pass on my eating habits to my kids or whatever that may be. So the layers are just getting peeled off more and more. So these are extremely, extremely important questions to ask. Do not lead with the price, because do you see where we're getting here with these 4 questions? If you told them about this, challenge pack you have, and then you said $160, they'd go, yep, can't afford it. But the thing is this emotional thing that you're slowly peeling back, that's the stuff you can't put a price on. Having energy to run around with your kids, you can't put a price on that. Having your marriage flourish because you finally have the confidence to put yourself as a priority, you can't put a price on that. You cannot. So it's so important that we get through these different layers, okay? If you understand the bigger picture, if you understand that someone wants to save their own life or, finally get into a relationship when they weren't confident enough to ask someone out on a date, you can add value to them, and you have to ask as much as possible, right? Because then once they realize what their intention is, and then you explain to them what they're going to receive, that price is a distant memory, because all they can see is a better marriage, more energy, 10 pounds lighter, 50 pounds lighter, whatever that is. All right, let's talk about the do's. This happens to me a lot is when I post something on Facebook, I always get people, they'll comment, how much? Don't talk about things like this in the comments of your Facebook. And this is, I think, social media 101, but sometimes people may not realize it because they get excited. So having no conversation in the comments in social media is very important, especially if you think you're going to put a price in there, because it's a done deal. It's gone. They're gone. They're not going to conversate with you. And you can't do these questions honestly and openly in the comments of social media platform. So make sure that you are offering to chat privately. I do this constantly. I say, message me. I think I have a few ideas for you. Or message me. I'd like to help you one-on-one. That makes them feel important, because they are. But 2, it makes them feel like, oh, this person really wants to help me. This is serious. So number 2, make a video talking about your experience. Get connected. So this is something that I have not tried yet, but I actually caught this tip from another coach that I plan to try. I did a different version of this today. But basically, she was telling me that she had this woman that she did not know, was from her business page, was having this conversation. They were messaging back and forth on Facebook Messenger. And the woman was like, well, tell me about the program. And instead of going through all the same stuff that she normally does, well, this is what's in the package, there's a lack of connection there, right? So what she did was she said, hey, I'm just about to get home. When I get home, can I make you a video and let you know how it worked for me and kind of let you know about that? And the woman's like, oh, yeah, sure. So she got home and she messaged her and she's like, hey, I'm making the video for you right now. So this is an ongoing conversation. So she gets home, she makes a video, and then she talks about, hey, this is what's in the program. And, she tells her story, basically. And then she also tells her about the program. And then she messages her back and says, sending you the video. So it's almost like you're having a face-to-face conversation. And that for her was a way to connect with her without having to leave it through a message. And so that's just another tip you could use if you want to. And I would probably, if you were to do that, I would probably make it a video that didn't have a name in it, just to give you a little hint, because then you could use it over and over again, because it would be a legit story and would be legit information. But you say, started off saying, hey, we were just messaging and I just want to make this video for you. That's all you got to say. But it's a really good way to connect. And what I did today was I had a woman, same situation. She's messaging me, commenting on one of my pictures, and I commented back and said, message me, I've got an idea for you. Immediately she sent me a message and she gave me this long story. And this is for some of you that were on the call earlier. She's the one that told me that Shakeology did not work for her. She was under the impression that it was a completely different product, that she was supposed to lose weight by it. She sent me this long story about how her workouts didn't work and she didn't have any support. Her Shakeology was too expensive and it didn't work. And I was like, whoa, this is not something I can message her back. I'm going to be here all day. And I was picking up my kids and, running back and forth. So I sent her a voice message. And this was another way to personally connect and add value to the relationship I was building, is if you go on Facebook, on Messenger, there's a little microphone. You push the microphone, you hold down record, you can record your voice for 1 minute. And I did 2 1-minute talks to her, just to basically how I would message her back. And I said, hey, Janet, we were just talking on Facebook and I want to address the things we're talking about. And then that got a conversation rolling. And she was like, thank you so much for taking the time to do that. And for me, that was actually a lot easier rather than having to go home, get on my laptop, try to do it on my phone, whatever. So I was able to talk to her about the issues that she was having with a connection. So number 3, get personal. Talk about how it's helped you or a challenger of yours. Less fact talk, more real talk. So when someone says, tell me about the 21-day fix, I don't lead with, well, you get containers and you get a workout and you get this, you get this. You know how I started? I say, it has so simplified my life. This is real talk. This is personal. Had I led with what you get, I could have been anybody, right? But what is it about my story that is going to allow us to connect and allow this person to want to trust me, is by sharing my story. And when you throw out facts, it kind of becomes like in one ear and out the other. And they're like, okay, great. You're not showing them the value of what you're offering if you show them the facts that they could probably pretty easily Google, right? But you're adding value by sharing how it's worked for you so they can then take that information and apply it to themselves. Number 4, talk about how it's better than anything else out there. And what I mean by that is once you've gone through, you're going through your personal story, I like to apply these principles. It saves me time. And this is not just, think about this. You could say the workouts are only 30 minutes, or you could say, I don't have to take my kids to the gym and I don't have to sit in traffic. You see, they're the same thing, but this one's personal, right? This one's personal about why it makes my life better. Talk about why what you have to offer is better than not having it. It's simple. I throw my stuff in the containers when I'm running out the door to volunteer at my kid's school or whatever it is. It's simple and it's effective. I lost 9 pounds in the first 2 weeks. It's effective. That's another personal fact, right? Personal. And it's all in one package. Again, that's the simplicity of it. And I talk about, you know what? I don't have the time to count calories. I don't have the time to print out meal plans. I open up my book. I see what I can eat. I put it in the container. I put it on my plate. I put it in my face. Simple, right? People want to hear that kind of stuff because you are applying it to yourself. Okay, there we go. Okay, it doesn't stop there. With what we just talked about, that was kind of the before, right? That was the talking to people about challenge packs, about why what you have to offer as a coach is important, but it doesn't stop there. The value also needs to go into the after process and the experience. And this is, I'm talking about challenge groups. You need to put in your energy. You need to focus on the outcome of the group. You need to have your genuine desire to help these people. And this is so important, so important. If you want to add value to people's lives, you need to be valuable. That doesn't mean better than anybody, but that means valuable. That means people can come to you with questions, that you provide motivation, that you provide that support, that you provide that knowledge, right? So if you feel like you're lacking, and this can be applied to either as you start to build your own team or even in your own challenge groups. If you feel like I'm not very good at making videos for my challenge group, giving them some sort of piece of like motivational piece, figure it out, get better. Don't stop there. You want to add value to this situation, be valuable, get better, do better, grow more, develop more, all right? Don't just stop there. If you are a leader and you're starting to build your own team and you think, I'm not a very good leader, I'm not very organized, you know what? Get organized. Learn how to be organized, because you can't be valuable if you aren't, if you can't be valuable, if you aren't putting into your body what you need to put out, because there's so much that you need to give. And if you can't give that, I lost my train of thought. If you don't have anything to give, you're not adding value. There we go. Sometimes I write all these notes and then I forget to look at them. So if you don't have anything to give, you're not adding value. So you got to constantly feed your soul, feed your brain to be valuable, right? Okay. We're almost at 7 o'clock here and we're almost done. All right. Another aspect of value that I kind of want to throw in there is the value of being influential. Be a connector. And this is what I love about the challenge groups, is I had people say, well, I don't really know what really good healthy snacks are. Be valuable, provide information. Hey, I have this really cool article. I'd like to connect this with you. Your challenge group alone makes you, why do I keep influential? Because what you're doing is you're creating the system where people are connecting. I have challenge groups right now where people in them that don't know each other and they didn't know each other before are now friends. And I think that's pretty cool. You connected these people, not only with each other, but with the program that they're going through. And that is influence on someone's life. And influence is value. Also talking about having your own high standards and always have confidence that you're bringing your best self, whether that's a team, whether that's a challenge group, whatever that may be. Don't go into a situation not feeling confident. When I prepare these team calls, I don't go into it thinking, yeah, I'm going to suck at this. Yeah, I don't really feel so good about this. Because you know what? I want to be valuable to this team. I want to provide the best information I can. So every time I set up these team calls, when I'm ready to push play and record, I feel confident that this is going to be valuable to somebody. Come with your best self. Set your standards high. Don't come at it half-assed. Come at it full throttle, 100%. I'm going to be valuable. So the higher standards that you set for yourself, the more valuable you are, right? Okay. All right, you guys. That concludes our team call for tonight. But I want to open up if you guys want to, chat or anything, ask questions, whatever that may be. But I want to open the floor to you guys because I'm tired of talking. And I need a drink of wine. Brandy, I know you have something to say.
What? I think the one thing that I sometimes have a hard time with is because I love to help people and to listen to what's going on in their life, and it's pretty easy for me to kind of like get down to what their needs are. That seems to be like the first thing that I do.
Good.
And I get really excited to help motivate them and encourage them and, kind of find their place in the world. The hard part for me is then connecting that to what I'm doing. Because, for example, I have one really good friend who I can help her in every which way, but then she's like, yeah, I'm not really into health and fitness.
Okay.
So I can help her organize her day. I can help motivate her with motivational things in the morning. But then when it gets to that part, it seems like I'm not sure where to go.
Well, if I remember correctly, there was a young lady who told me her story where she was having a hard time. And I'm talking about you. And where I'm going is that you have a story too, right? Was there at some point in your life where you might not have been like this fitness guru, right? But somehow it helped you. We all have a time in our life where something was, it doesn't mean to be dramatic, right? But you had a situation, whatever that may be, where you decided, I'm going to do this because I want this. So where in there did fitness fit in with that? Why did you start running? Because you wanted an outlet. Maybe, you have a couple of kids and you needed to relieve your stress or whatever it may be. You got to have to think about how it helped you. Okay? Not what should I say, but how did it help you?
Okay.
That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That's where the authenticity comes in. We all have, I don't care, everyone on this call, everyone on the team, whatever, someone has a point in their life where they chose to focus on fitness and nutrition for one reason or the other. Okay. You're fine. You're good. All right. Anyone else have anything to say or questions? Hi, Jen. You're back.
All right. I think.
Hi.
Hi. I was wondering. So I have been co-hosting challenge. Groups with Jennifer in September, and then the month before that. And I've been having challengers who haven't actually purchased something, but I haven't wanted to say no to them because I want to build a relationship with them. But they continued in the summer, and then they continued into September, and they might want to continue into next month. But I don't know how, like, at what point do I not stop coaching them, but how do I help them realize that maybe a Beachbody product will be something that they would find helpful and useful? Because I'm coaching them and I'm spending my time coaching them, but yet the other part's not happening.
Okay.
I'm just curious your thoughts.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a very clear answer to me.
What is it?
Being proof
Keep
of
coaching them?
No, being proof of the product. How are you supposed to show them something valuable? By showing them that it's valuable, right? You've already gone through the why they want to do this. You've been coaching them for a long time.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get them, if it could be someone that isn't on Shakeology, you really think they should be, and you're not sure how to go about that, talk about what it does for you. Talk about why it helps you, right?
Okay.
It goes right back to your own personal story.
Okay.
Either that or it's, hey, buy something or get out. Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to do that, right? I mean, but
no, you don't.
They're there and they're motivated, but then I'm talking a lot and I'm showing them, but yet they just don't seem ready because of the money part.
Okay.
So
if if it comes down to Shakeology, we've done a call on how to deal with objections on Shakeology. We posted the information on Shakeology in terms of the benefits of it and how to talk about it. Use elements of those things in order to talk to them about that. And I'm assuming is that kind of,
don't even have the pro.
They don't have, what are they, how are you working them?
They're people that I know, and I say, would you like to join, to tell them what we'll be using and so forth, and they say yes, and so I talk to them more about it, but then they say they don't want to purchase right now, but could they still participate? And one person,
are they running or are they walking? Like, I mean, this is
they're running, walking, or they're doing other DV type work. One girl used to be a coach, but they're really poor right now, and she has to lose over 100 pounds. But you know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know, they just haven't seemed like they want to move forward in that way.
Well, I would just think that if you have other people in your group that are showing transformations, that's going to help them see, oh, if they can do it, I can do it too. And that's kind of what I was talking about being that connector,
right?
Bringing other stories to the table. So I think if you had a whole entire challenge group like that and you're getting,
it's not everybody.
I would say stop that, because unless you really, really like to do that, that's great. But if you're actually focusing on trying to build a business,
right,
that's taking your time and your energy, right?
Right, it is.
If that's one or two people, I wouldn't worry about it. Maybe they'll come around, because it's not the right time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else before we get going? Okie dokie. All right. Well, thank you guys. I will go ahead and post the recording here shortly as soon as it uploads. And I love seeing all your faces tonight. So thanks for being here.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.